Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome this week's episode of Talks with TVBOO. Welcome this week's episode of the podcast. Hope you're having a great week, and I appreciate y'all being here, man. I really do, because we literally have one of the best episodes of the podcast to date. It's insane the amount of information these guys share. My guests today are owners and talent buyers at Cervantes and Sonic Bloom. One of the guests has been the owner of Cervantes since he opened it up back in 2003, and he's seen the entire music industry change out here in Denver, Colorado. And if you're listening and you don't know what Cervantes is, it's one of the dopest venues out here in Denver, and it hosts some of the best music and best acts, and everybody's been through it just about. So, man, these guys just have so much fucking knowledge, and it was insane. All the things they were sharing, I was just able to soak everything up. So this is one of the best insightful episodes we have, and I'm just going to let it get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Morrill and Evan Marks.
Come here, girl, is that ass fat? Let me take my tongue and go around your dirt track. I met a girl and her booty tastes like strawberries. I swear to God, this could be the one that I'm marrying. Hey, hey, and she's so different. I made that from behind. I met a girl and her booty tastes like strawberries.
Boys, hey.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hell yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, man. Thanks for coming on today, for real. Like, this is, hold up, let me sip this. We've been trying doing this for like 2 months now, I feel like, at this point.
Busy lives.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it'd be like that. But this is going to be a fucking awesome episode, because this is a big insight for a lot of people. I mean, even myself, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys are pretty busy fellers out here in this music scene. Before we even really get into it, I just want y'all to like tell the people who y'all are, exactly what y'all do in y'all's positions.
Yeah. I'm Scott Morrill. I own and operate Cervantes Masterpiece on the other side in Denver. And I'm also a talent buyer at AEG.
I'm Evan Marks. I'm a buyer at Cervantes. Scott and I do Sonic Bloom together. And I am Scott's assistant buyer at AEG.
Nice. When you said y'all both do the talent buying at Sonic Bloom?
Yes. I also booked a Rise Music Festival for 8 years and have booked other fests in the past too. That's my other talent, I guess.
Yeah, just
skill.
Yeah.
Buying other people's talents.
Yeah. Spending other people's money.
How'd you two get linked up? But when how's this? I want to know this relationship between y'all. How's this work? This dynamic?
Yeah, so I managed a local jam band called Cycles, who still are around, and they're kick-ass. And they played at Cervantes. That became their home base, and I got to know Scott through that because we sold a lot of tickets for him in the venue, and the band was awesome. And every 6 weeks or so, I'd email him and beg for a job, and then it must have been like the sixth time I did that. Actually, when I saw an article that came out that was like Scott and one of the other owners of Cervantes are going to be buyers at AEG, that's when I found a way to weasel my way in and was like, oh, so you definitely need help now, right? And he was like, actually, we might. And I got hired as an assistant buyer at Cervantes 5 years ago, and we've been growing together ever since.
Hell yeah, man. Cervantes, one thing I love about Cervantes is, I feel like a lot of big venues around here it's like a lot of tour packages, right, that are coming through. I feel like Cervantes actually does curated lineups. Like maybe a tour is coming through, but like, all right, how can we make this tour a little bit different?
Yeah, for sure. We used to always have to get creative with our bookings, because especially back in the day when we were kind of competing with some of the bigger guys and we didn't have all the contacts, so we would have to just get creative and build our own shows. Mm-hmm. And we still do that, and we're still known for that. So I think that's one of the things people really like about Cervantes.
Yeah, I love it very much. You know what I mean? Even just like my tour that's coming through, it's like a very different lineup from we have for the rest of the tour, and it's kick ass.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about. You said competing with other people, dude. What? Because this is the bass capital. You know what I mean? That's what they call it, the bass capital. And I know you talent buy for all types of music, right? Not just electronic music.
Yes.
And Evan, are you more on the electronic side of it?
I've become that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because of honestly like market demand, and I've learned a lot about the music. Like when I started at Cervantes, I started because I loved like the jam band shit that they did and all the funk and soul super jams and shit. And if music for me, if it didn't have a guitar solo at that point, like I was out. and then 2 years later, I just found myself in a totally different world and learned so much more and found a lot of stuff that I really liked. And that's where it's kind of taken me. Although I still do book everything.
Yeah. Well, whenever, like, I'm pointing out this the base capital because I know, like, the first week I lived here, I was blown the fuck away from the amount of shows that were going on in one night. Like, are y'all even looking at the calendar for what other people are doing? Or you just, yeah?
Oh, yeah. That's a big deal. Like, when we're booking somebody, we're always looking at competition in town. And there's usually is a little competition in town, but you don't want to book like somebody who's up and coming against like some huge Mission Ballroom show or Red Rock show or something, and they just get squashed. So you try to do what you can to not compete, but there is competition that just happens inevitably.
I haven't seen it like that in a city. Like, I guess it's just because I just had moved here, but it's just like literally every weekend, the amount of shows that are going on the same night. I had to get an app just to keep up with the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The EDM train app. You know what I mean? I had to get an app just to keep up with who all's coming into town and all the conflicts are going on, dude. How does that? So like I know you said you're looking at it, dude, but are you just like, fuck it, there's gonna be people, or yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the reason that there's so much going on every night is because it's one of the best music scenes in the country. So yeah, we have so many fans that are supporting it. A lot of cities can't have all these shows going on the same night, but Denver can because people are out there supporting live music, which is the reason why we're doing so well.
Yeah. How long you been, so you're a co-owner over at Cervantes, right?
Yeah, I actually opened it in 2003.
You opened Cervantes. Damn, I guess I was reading an article about you earlier because I was trying to figure out, like your exact position at it. You know what I mean? And I guess I had read it wrong, where it's like I thought you had came in and bought it out for somebody, but
yeah, a lot of people think that, but I actually did commercial real estate for like 5 years out of college, and then took out a second mortgage on my house at the time and just started Cervantes when I was 26.
Why? That sounds like the scariest fucking thing.
It
dude.
was, but I was like, I wanted to do it. It was my dream. I thought about it a lot, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to go for it, and if I fail, I'm going to fucking die trying.
Fuck yeah.
So
That's
I
awesome.
just did it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy for a while.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it's not easy today.
It's still not easy, but now we kind of have some momentum, and it's easier.
Yeah. I feel like there's definitely like a built-in crowd at Cervantes, you know what I mean? Especially like the other side. I mean, that's a weekly event you'll have on Thursdays, right? Am I correct?
It rotates between the other side and the ballroom.
Yeah. Yeah, the shift Thursdays is something we've been working on for the last year or so, and it has finally become that built-in crowd again, like it was pre-COVID.
Yeah. How scary was it whenever that shit had to shut down for you? I mean, you started the business in 2003.
Yeah, so luckily we were, 17 years in. If we were 5 years in, we would have been really fucked. Like, so because we were 17 years in, we got some of the government money helping us. It ended up being just like a nice little break from all the work we've been doing.
Yeah, nice little vacation for you. Huh?
Yeah. Luckily we were established, but it still was scary not knowing when it was going to come back. And then we came back 6 months later doing 50-person shows at Cervantes in our 1,000 capacity room. So it's like it was definitely scary for a while. Luckily, we made it out of it.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm glad, because Cervantes has become like such a staple point. I mean, I'm just speaking as far as like in the electronic world, as far as like a dope ass venue to play at in Denver. It's like that's where like everyone wants to go. They want to go like Cervantes or like why can I not think
Masterpiece Ballroom or the other side?
Yeah, that. But I was comparing it to other venues. Probably would be rude of me to do on this podcast, so I probably should.
Oh, you can do that.
Okay, cool. I was thinking Mission Ballroom. Goddamn.
Yeah.
But it's like Cervantes is in that conversation. It's just like everybody who talks about Cervantes is just a dope ass venue.
It's I think it's just like a part of the whole music ecosystem in the town. So it's like it's a building room. It's kind of like they call a soft ticket room a little bit because people do just go there. We have a lot of regulars, and we've built up that reputation over the years. Our drinks are a little cheaper. Our service fees are lower. We're just kind of very friendly venue, very welcoming, and people just feel at home there. So
and y'all serve PBR.
We serve PBR.
Yeah.
We just have a lot of regulars. We have people that have season passes.
Wait, there's a season pass?
Yeah, you can get 3-month pass, 6-month
A
pass,
year.
annual pass. It's a good Christmas present for people looking for Christmas presents out there. Buy your loved one an annual Cervantes pass.
Dude, my mom used to do that shit for me for a skate park.
There
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
a summer
Same thing.
pass for a skate. So you buy the pass, you go to any show.
Any
Yeah.
show.
Doesn't matter. Any
No,
show.
Doesn't matter. You can buy a +1 pass too and bring your friend.
That's kick ass, dude. Yeah, that is cool.
People do buy them for gifts for their friends. It's a great gift.
What has it been like whenever this guy came into your life?
I mean, it's my life has changed for the better. He's like, when you hire somebody, you don't really know for sure what you're going to get. You're taking a little bit of a leap of faith and a chance on them, and you don't really know. But I think it was probably after it wasn't very long before I knew that I had something really good. But then he's like a sponge, man. He soaks up.
Just
Sucks. Yeah.
There we go.
He soaks it all up. No, he is an amazing buyer and a hard worker and great friend. It's like our friendship that we've developed over this is really one of the most important things to me, really.
Aw.
Yeah.
Aw.
I know.
That's beautiful, dude.
That's why we're on here together.
I know, dude.
We don't like to separate.
Yeah, I know. They were like, whenever things kept coming up, like, would you like to do it separate? I'm like, nah, we started this thread together. We should do this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And man, I'm glad it could be both of us. I mean, the three of us, you know what I'm saying? And us together, you know what I mean? Yeah. What was the hardest part about just getting Cervantes going in the beginning?
In the beginning, well, we started we're in 5 Points. And back then in 2003, that was like really kind of like it was like gang neighborhood. There was like a lot of like drugs and crackheads out there. People weren't used to going down there. So like we were paying all this money for bands and people just weren't used to going there. So our numbers were low. We were a month behind on rent for, I think, 5 years. Like it was just, but like for me, I was young and I didn't care. I was just happy to be part of a music venue and doing what I loved. I was there like every night and I loved it.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, it was pretty scary. Like now I'd be like, oh my God, we're in trouble. We're behind on rent. We're like, these shows aren't doing well. I'll be like, we'd borrow money like from my partner's bar 1 week and then we'd pay him back the next month and we'd borrow money again. It was just like that. But I was having so much fun. I didn't care.
Yeah. I'm sure, dude. I'm sure. Were you just doing like mostly bands back then?
Yes, it was almost all bands. I feel like the electronic music started really happening in maybe like kind of 07, 08 or so. I mean, it was happening a little bit back then with like some of the house music and stuff, but then like I feel like some of the heavy bass music really started then, and then it just started taking off, and all the younger kids started. That's what they wanted to go to.
What was it like for y'all? For both of y'all, you said you wouldn't listen to a song if it didn't have a guitar solo. Now you're pretty much like the bass guy over there at the other side. Like what was that like whenever you're realizing, people like listening to this type of shit? And how do y'all feel about it now? Are y'all into it? Like what's that like for y'all whenever you had to start doing it?
Well, I knew people liked it well before I did. And then I found stuff that just like complemented my vibe a lot better. A lot of the more intricate stuff, stuff you can listen to and tell that somebody put like 100,000 hours into making this song. Whether it's super heavy or not, I can just always find something that I like. If you told college me at the Fish concert that I was going to be on the TVBOO podcast, then I think I might be kind of shocked. But yeah, dude, there's just so much out there. Like, it is impossible to go into it and not find something that you love. It truly is. Like, no matter who you are.
Yeah. That's what I love about it. There are different vibes, dude, because I found like guys who do like bluegrass, like glitch hoppy type of shit. It's like if you're a bluegrass guy, like this has to get you hard. This is fucking cool as shit. It's like the most dancey version of it if possible. What was it like for you, Sky, whenever the electronics, you're like, oh fuck, do I really have to book these shows? Am I selling out right now? Selling my soul?
It was similar for me, I think, too, to Evan. Like I immediately found things I really enjoyed, and then I also liked turning other people onto it, because there'd be a lot of people, even like Evan was before he became Bass Evan, that they didn't know they liked electronic music, and they still don't. They're like, oh, I don't like that. And I'm like, oh, but have you heard this? and like, look at this, check out this down tempo music, or check out this, like, you know, whatever, like this house music. And people were like, oh, I didn't know that was part of that too. So it's like you can find something for everybody. And I started really just enjoying it too, and started booking Sonic Bloom. And
He also managed some guy.
oh yeah, I was Pretty Light's first manager and agent.
No shit.
That was in 2007. And that's right when it was kind of popping off. And he was doing like really cool things with music that I thought was so cool, because he was combining like old soul samples from vinyl and mixing it with hip hop beats and different vocal samples. It was like very sample based, and I just like loved that. So that really paved the way into me liking a lot of different other EDM music.
Were you managing any other artists at the time, or you just found Pretty Lights and you reached out?
I didn't even they reached out to me. They were like, nobody knew who they were. They were a band called Listen in Fort Collins, and that had just broken up. And Derek started making music with Michael Minert. He made the first album, and I think that was 2006. And then their drummer at the time, Corey Eberhard, was a friend of mine just through playing with Listen. They used to play at Cervantes, and he hit me up. It's like, we need a manager. You got to manage us. Manage Pretty Lights. Manage Pretty Lights. I was like, I've never even managed anybody in my life. I'm just a talent buyer and a club owner. And he's like, just get us gigs. And so I became their manager and just kind of learned how to do it, and then signed them with their agent, who's still their agent today, Hunter Williams. And that was a great experience in my life, watching them go from nobody knowing who they were to headlining Red Rocks, and then getting left in the dust for Red Light Management.
I was going to say, is he the one that got away?
I mean, I kind of saw it coming when he told me. It was like, I didn't have the contacts or the company, you know, what all these other management companies have so many more. I was a talent buyer in Denver, so I did it as long as I could, and felt good about it, and it was a great experience, and I loved it. Went on a couple tours with him. We went through the Southeast and did like a couple places in Alabama. They went to North Carolina, South Carolina, did the Georgia Theater. It was like a 12-date run, and they all sold out. First time he had been, it was like 500 cap rooms, a couple thousand cap
In
rooms.
Alabama, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Did y'all go to Mississippi at all?
No Mississippi.
Okay.
We did like Zydeco and the Mellow Mushroom.
Oh, yeah. I
and
know
then,
what you're talking about. Yeah, I've done Zydeco too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Poorhouse in Charleston and Raleigh, and then Georgia Theater. But it was all on MySpace, and he was the first one that was giving his music away for free. God. So like all these kids, like we do a show, we packed, and we go to the after party at someone's house, and all they were playing was Pretty Lights, and everyone knew every word. And I was just like, this is something's happening here. This is going to be big. And sure enough, it just blew up. But a lot of people were criticizing him back then for giving his music away for free.
But now it's like,
Now
good
it's
luck
like,
selling it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's what everybody does. So he was really ahead of the curve on that.
That's wild, dude. So you own a venue, talent Bob, artist agency, management, even tour managed. What the fuck haven't you done,
Well,
dude?
yeah, and after the Pretty Lights thing, there was at one time I had 10 electronic producers that I was managing. All these guys were like, oh, can you do what you did for Pretty Lights for me? I was like, can you make music that everybody wants to listen to? And they couldn't, but I did. Like I managed about 10 people, and after a while, I was like, I just kind of slowly dropped them all. I was like, I just want to be a promoter and talent buyer.
Yeah, were you owning the venue still at this point?
Oh yeah,
Fuck, dude.
yeah. But it kind of goes hand in hand, because I would, I'd book them for gigs at Cervantes, and then, I'd kind of just know how the deals work and just help them out. I'd put them on good support slots. So, and then I started to do some out-of-state stuff, and then I would sign them with agents because I had relationships with different agents. So, yeah, I just kind of did it. But after a while, it was too much. That's why I quit. That's why I dropped it all.
Yeah, what about you, Evan? You ever thought about getting into artists? I know you said you were managing this band.
Never again.
Never again?
Not once. Those dudes, love them. They were young, 20-something-year-old dudes in a jam band on the road. A lot of partying, a lot of stuff like that. A lot of 3 a.m. phone calls.
It's like babysitting grown men sometimes.
At certain points it was. No, I've found what I want to do, and it's working out good so far.
Yeah.
I don't get that many 3 a.m. phone calls, but I still get them.
I'm sure. You ever get those 3 a.m. phone calls from him?
Not too much from Evan, but Yeah, there's definitely late calls and late nights, and it's a full-time thing, as you know. It's like you're going, you do your work during the day, and then, I got a show I'm going to tonight. It's like you just keep going.
And that's over at where's that at tonight?
Tonight's at the Ogden with this band, Lost Dogs Street Band.
Yeah, I was talking to him about it. I was like, Lost Dogs has the Lost Dogs DJ crew. Have they heard about this? Like, I'm wondering about this.
That's a good question.
It's a great question. I asked him if it spelled different. He said no, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, these dudes are really good. They started out at the other side, like a lot of bands do, and now they're growing up. They're gonna do really well at the Ogden night. So
fuck yeah. And you talent bought for that too?
Yeah. So usually, if you're the promoter, kind of when they're coming up, you hold on to them is the idea, and then you get to grow them and help decide with their team where they're going to play as they grow.
Or will you hold on to me?
I hope so. I hope.
How cool is it seeing like artists like that go from like the other side to playing the Master Ballroom to like Mission Ballroom to Red Rocks? I'm sure there's been hundreds that you've seen in the, just your career.
It's definitely my favorite part about what I do, being able to watch and help somebody grow, and then, have a relationship with them and become friends with them and do everything you can to help them. And you never know who's going to really pop off and take it all the way up, but you try on everybody and you kind of see what happens. And then when you see somebody's, face when they work so hard for so many years and then they headline Red Rocks, it's a great feeling.
Yeah. I hope I get to that point. I hope you have that feeling for me.
Hell yeah.
We will.
Oh yeah, dude. So before you started working for him, were you talent bound at all? I know you said you were managing it. So
No, I was working for different like management companies, mostly jam band stuff, and then I was doing like odd jobs to scrape by. So like loader, like when Weird Al pulls up to the Boulder Theater with 2 semis full of props, calling me, I'm unloading all that shit. Or like runner, which is driving the artists around in a white van, which I actually loved. And I had this great feeling recently, actually, where I was sitting at the table backstage at Red Rocks Catering with some of the big dogs at AEG, Don Strasberg and Brent Fredrizzi. And I was remembering, 6-7 years ago when I was sitting at the other table at Catering backstage as a runner, wishing I could be at that table. And that was just like a great full circle moment.
Started from the bottom, now we queer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. He's going to cheers me on that too, yeah. Hell yeah. So what type of experience do you need to have? Like, so if someone's listening, they're like, oh, cool, I could book shows, I could talent buy, I know what could sell. Like, what skills do you really need to have for something like that?
I mean, I think kind of what Evan was just saying is important. Like, you have to just get your foot in the door, whether it be being a runner, a loader, or a street team or marketing, and just learn everything you can. I mean, the more you know about music, obviously, and bands and like what's good and what's not, definitely helps. But it's no lie. I mean, it's a hard thing to get into, to actually like get in as a talent buyer and do it. I don't even know. What would your advice be, Evan? You probably.
Oh, luck.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean,
Yeah.
I, before Scott gave me a shot, I was like pretty close to calling it. And like, I'm from Houston. I was going to move back home to Houston and then like go to law school or something.
You look like you could go to law school.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I certainly would have been fucking miserable and faking my way through that. But yeah, I mean, I did a lot of different jobs. I think what's really important is to present yourself as a solid, reliable person. Everybody in this scene parties, and I'm not saying don't party. I'm just saying don't be the party guy, or girl. Don't always be the one who's partying and out of control. Present yourself in a way that if somebody thinks of you and they think of their memories of you, they would say, oh, that person seems at least semi-professional in my head.
I'm fucking up.
I mean, you're in a different boat, dude. You're in a different boat. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
I'm fucking up.
Look at this fucking koozie.
Oh, man, that's crazy. So, like, I actually threw shows out in Jackson, Mississippi for a couple of years, dude, and that shit was tough. I mean, especially when there's no scene. Like, whenever you started throwing events here, I mean, I know now it's the bass capital out here, but back in 2003, what was the music scene like out here?
It was definitely way different. I mean, my partner at the time, Jay Bianchi, had a few other kind of hippie venues, Coyote, so he had like a big like Grateful Dead following of like fans that just loved like live music and that kind of music. So we kind of had that to start with, and we focused on that a lot. Like when we first opened, there was just a big steal your face on the stage that we did in carpet, which was
Bad idea.
Terrible
Cringe.
idea. Terrible.
Cringe.
It was just disgusting
Oh,
after
dude,
1 year.
I was about to ask, how long did you have that carpet?
I mean, way too long. It was disgusting after 1 year, and I think we kept it for 6 or 7.
Oh my God.
It was bad, but yeah. But he had a good scene going, and we continue on with that, and that's kind of how we started building our reputation of just being a friendly venue. I mean, back then when we first started, I always laugh because we had one security guard, and he was at the front door, and he was also collecting money for the shows, and we didn't do very many pre-sales, so people would just walk up, and he'd be collecting for money for people, giving them a stamp, letting them in. If there was like a fight or something, he'd just have to tell people to hold on, and he'd go handle the fight and come back. Yeah, and there'd be like 800 people showing up. And we thought, oh, we're saving money. We just have one security guard. And once you got in, no rules. You can do whatever you want. No security.
Now, how important is that?
It's very hard to believe. Like I said, a lot of things in hindsight, I'm like, I can't believe that we did that or that I did that, and I didn't really even think about it back then. But now, I mean, we have 10 security guards for a show like that, or 15, and it's like I can't imagine doing it like we used to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Especially now, everybody be talking about it on the internet, you know?
Oh yeah, no, we could not get away with it. Yeah, back then people weren't even. There was no. I mean, there was internet, but there was no
internet.
social media.
No Twitter, dude.
There wasn't social media. There was internet. There wasn't social media, though.
That's
People
right.
weren't talking. Like, if something happened at a show, like, they could call us.
Yeah,
That was,
write a letter.
yeah, they'd write a letter.
What type of events do you have to, like, bring more for? Is there certain events where you have to bring in more security where it's a little more wild?
Yeah, I mean, it's generally we just base it on the amount of people we're expecting, but there's definitely certain demographics. Like when there's like a younger demographic, maybe if we're expecting like because we do 16 and up, if we're doing a show with like there's going to be a lot of under 21, we might have some extra security.
Yeah, like Baby Keem.
Yeah,
It's like a lot of 16-year-old kids.
What's that?
Baby Keem.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Grammy award-winning rap artist.
Fuck, bro.
He's
come on, dude.
I'm fucking up, man.
he's opening for Kendrick
Unprofessional.
Lamar on his world tour.
God damn. Can you sing me one of his songs right now?
Have you ever been punched in your motherfucking face, bitch?
That's hard.
Yeah.
Give him a Grammy. He deserves it. That's a fucking
That's
good
the
line.
only lyric
Is
I
that
know,
real?
and
That's
it's the best. It's the best. They brought in lasers, but it was like,
Oh, yeah, for a rap show?
dude, it was sick.
I love that. You never see that for rap shows, man.
Yeah, but something like that sells out, 3 weeks in advance, and you can tell, like, you can look at the purchaser list and see that they're not going to be 21, and it's going to be pretty rowdy.
Yeah. What's the craziest production y'all had brought in?
That's a tough one. Craziest production. I mean, I remember one time we did a show back in the day, and it was with the MTV Jackass guys, and we built a skate ramp that was coming off the stage, and people would drop in off stage and jump and land their skateboards in the ballroom. That's not really a production, I guess, but that's
pretty cool, though.
That just shot in my head that we had a skateboard ramp in there. I was like, can't believe we pulled that off.
That's fucking cool, though.
With that band Cycles I managed, we would do something called the game show, where we would have like a giant spinning wheel on stage. We'd call up contestants to spin the wheel. It would decide a certain challenge that they compete in, and it's anything from cracking and throwing 5,000 glow sticks in the crowd to like eating watermelon. We did 2 of those, and unfortunately we probably won't do another one, but that shit was wild and a lot of work.
You should get ICP and just let them fucking just spew the Fago at you, bro.
I have seen an ICP show.
Yeah,
That
they're
shit is
awesome.
wild.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Would you have something like that in there?
We used to have a decent amount of Juggalo stuff there, and there was some issues, just to put it lightly.
Bro, I went to one Juggalo event, and I could see the production guys just scrambling, trying to save everything, while the show's happening in the middle of the show.
There was,
Yeah.
there were
Yeah.
some bad ones.
I worked the Boulder Theater show, and they like put up. Have you been to the Boulder Theater?
Yeah.
gorgeous theater.
Yeah, awesome.
Like immaculate. They put up like this neoprene stuff all over the walls because they knew they were going to spray the Faygo. And it's a Monday night. And after their 6th opener, comes on and does like some bullshit magic act, it was like 12:30 and they still hadn't come on. And right before they come on, I hear somebody in the crowd go, "Let's trash this fucking place!" And they start tearing down the neoprene, and right then they come on and start spraying the Faygo everywhere. And I talked to the buyer there and said that was the last one.
Yeah, I mean, another banned from so many places for shit like that. All right, let me run something by you and tell me if I'm going to get banned for Cervantes for this, okay? Right. It's an idea. I've been thinking about it. I haven't even told my team about it. It's been in my head. I have to do it. Well, if it, God willing. So I went to the other side a couple weeks ago, and it was Chimera was playing. He brought out those dancers. I don't know if you were there, Evan.
Yep.
You were there. I thought it was fucking awesome. It was cool. It was like these exotic dancers, not like sexual or nothing. They were just cool. And I was like, what can I do? It's kind of similar to kind of bring that extra show. How would y'all feel about me having 2 stripper poles on stage the whole time for my show? No one knows it's going to happen. Obviously, we're talking about it on the podcast now, but 2 firemen male strippers.
Ooh, that took a turn. I was not expecting you to go firemen male strippers.
Yep.
I mean, it's allowed.
Yes.
Yeah!
Yes. We'll just delay the release of this podcast.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we
Show's
can,
coming up.
we can totally do that. We can totally.
Can I have approval over the firemen?
Yeah, I will send you all the pictures. You're just hanging out, dude.
Yeah.
And then you just get a picture of me
Do
as
we
a
have
fireman.
tryouts? Tryouts?
Yeah. You want to try out, bro?
Yeah. I mean, no, I want to be the judge.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, next.
Let's
Nope.
have
I feel
power.
like
A little
you'd be-
too flabby. Next.
I feel like
not flabby enough.
I feel like you'd be like a great fucking reality television judge. You look like one.
I'll take it. I don't know what that means. But
Evan
I'll
likes
take
it though, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want one? I see you looking.
Yeah, I
got
think
you.
I'm about ready.
Yeah. I got you, brother. Welcome to the show. No, this has been cool, dude. What would you say has been the biggest change, other than like obviously you said in the beginning when you started Cervantes that the location wasn't the best and it was hard to get people in. With the industry in itself, oh shit, what has been the biggest change that you've seen and it's been the hardest thing to adapt to?
Biggest change in the industry. I mean, back in the day, it was like we kind of had a lot of that scene to ourselves a little bit, and then AEG actually came into the market in 2007 and started opening up all these different rooms, and I was just like, oh fuck, like we're screwed, because like they obviously have a lot of power, and we hung with them for a long time, but it was definitely very challenging, and then eventually I became a talent buyer for him about 5 years ago. And then Evan just joined up with them too. And now, we're able to kind of grow bands up through the whole system, which is really nice. But yeah, having that competition back in the day was very challenging.
What about you, Evan? What's been something that you've seen change in your time?
My love of live bands is still there, and especially in that sort of jam, funk, soul genre, and that is getting tougher these days. I mean, you imagine like an up-and-coming DJ, expenses are high, plane tickets are high, so they're, $600 just isn't enough anymore to fly out. But imagine a fucking 4-piece band who's getting $300 a night opening for a band who's getting $5,000 or whatever, like that, because of the economy and everything and the inflation and prices, just like that kind of dream is sort of becoming much harder to attain. And that kind of hurts to see. But you still get lots of good gems that are able to withstand. Like I think a lot of the bands and artists that kept going and persevered through COVID have become incredibly strong. And I think COVID killed a lot of people off, literally and, in the music world. But I think the people that persevered have become much stronger, especially the bands who lasted through that.
You brought up a good point that I hadn't even thought about, inflation. You know what I mean? What has that been like as a venue owner, and how do you combat that? Do you have to like raise stuff with it? Like how, because I mean, I know like a lot of people, I felt like, because I talk with my agents about it, and they're like, a lot of times, and maybe y'all can contest to this, being talent buyers and stuff like that, a lot of people nowadays are just buying day of, or compared to a lot of people just buying earlier. It's just, maybe it's because they don't have the money, they don't know what's going to happen, flights cancel, maybe the artist can't make it, whatever. But how have y'all been able to kind of evolve with the economy of the United States?
It's been difficult for sure. I mean, ticket sales have been softer since COVID in general than before COVID, and I think inflation plays a big role there. People aren't going to as many shows as they used to. I think they got a little comfortable and used to just like doing different things, and not, people that used to go to 3 or 4 concerts a month are maybe going to 1 or 2 now. And a lot of that is because of inflation, and then a lot of that's maybe because of changing habits, but the people aren't buying as many pre-sale tickets. I do think it'll come back, and I think the economy will definitely come back. But right now it's been difficult. And like Evan said, for bands too that are out on the road, like trying to pay for gas and everything else, like it's very hard to be out there as a band, and then ticket sales aren't what they were. So you just have to be a little more careful, maybe not quite as aggressive. We always talk about not oversaturating the market when we can. So just kind of being thoughtful like that.
When you say not oversaturating the market, with like a single artist, or just throwing too many events?
Too many events. Like, it's like once you get to a certain point in the year, you don't necessarily like want to be super aggressive and chase after shows. And you just kind of want to let book the ones that you're pretty confident with, just especially when a market's not as strong as it once was.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a number you try to hit every year? Like how many shows you're trying to get?
People do talk about show counts and stuff like that, and that is something. But in general, for us, like we just try to book as smart as we can, and try to book our strongest shows and try to be open as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. I mean, y'all have a show every Thursday, right? You said it alternates between the other side and the master ballroom.
Yeah, or sometimes both.
Sometimes both. Yeah, I've been there. I know
I've seen you there.
Yeah, you see me, man. I know, like, as soon as I first moved out here, I had a lot of time off, so I was just going out like every night. You know what I mean? Just trying to meet people, say hey, show my face, that type of thing. And Cervantes, I've gone there quite a bit. It's been fun.
Yeah.
But like,
you should get a season pass, man.
I should get a season pass. Or yeah, I got one, dude. I can holler at you. I can holler at you, dude. I didn't know I had that clout yet in Denver, but here we are. But yeah. So what are you looking for whenever you're? Because I mean, having a weekly event sounds tough as fuck.
Yeah. So it used to be a different event. It was called Research Wednesdays, and I think it all originated from Electronic Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Which was Nicole from the Black Box, right?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
Doing shows at Cervantes before she had the Black Box, is that right?
Yeah.
And then, and then it was Research Wednesdays for a while, and then Thursdays briefly before COVID. And we had a real debate about whether or not we bring back a weekly event after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott really pushed for it and was like, I think this is something. I mean, dude, it's just like, it's an incredible resource to be able to develop artists.
Mm-hmm.
If you can attain that sort of built-in crowd. By no means are 200 people showing up every week. You have to book good talent, and good artists have to come and perform. But we've gotten it to a point now where you can slip an artist into the run of the show, and it could be a great developing slot for them. It is tough. We have a great partner right now, River Beats. Are you familiar with those guys?
Oh yeah, they're New Orleans natives.
Exactly.
Yeah. Benny's a good guy. Yeah. I know
Benny
them.
and Sean and
know
Greg Glassman.
I know those people very well.
Is the dude now. And they help us produce those events. They help us gather the community, whether it's with the vendors or live painters or performers, whatever it is. Like, they're, kind of boots on the ground, helping us activate the community. And after a year of those shows, I feel like super confident saying, like, this will never end. Like, those have been crushing recently, and it's become something where like artists want to play that.
Yeah.
Instead of agents being like, oh, I don't want to play like your weekly branded event. People are like, hey, can I play one of those Shift Thursdays? So that was the goal, and we're here now, and very, very thrilled about it.
Yeah, I think one of the key words you said there is community. It's like we're building a community. We're having people that are regulars and say, "Oh, I'm going to go down there and see what's going on, see who they're bringing out this week." They might not know the names of the people. Like, "Oh, I just know it's going to be good."
Yeah.
And then they're learning about new artists. So for a developing artist, like that's kind of the goal, is like being able to throw a couple artists that maybe have some more name recognition, and then along with some artists that maybe people don't know as much about, and then people are just there. Like, and luckily we're in a scene where people in Denver are paying attention and are looking to find something new that they want to listen to. Where there's a lot of other cities, I feel like people are like, oh, if they haven't heard of it, they just won't go. And that's the same thing as like just throwing shows. Like, oh, I'm going to that show. Like people like, we're like, oh no, I'm going to Cervantes.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going to see that artist. It's like, I'm going to Cervantes. I know I'm going to see my friends there. I know I'm going to see all these people I love, and I know the music's going to be good.
Well, what's cool about that is it's a different vibe than a lot of other places. So, like, I've seen a lot of, like, the nightclubs there where, like, people will go to the nightclub just to go to the nightclub because it's the place to go, and they don't give a fuck about who's playing. Whereas, like, in this case, they're like, we're going to go to Cervantes because this shit's going to be tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like a nightclub where people pay attention to the music and actually are going there for the music, but they're also going there for the community and for their company.
Well, I like that it's not like a nightclub feel. You know what I'm saying? Those are the weirdest clubs to play, man. I've played some of those clubs where like I walk off stage, it's like sold out, like 2,000 people sold out or whatever, and it was just like, we don't give a fuck.
You walk off stage and no one even notices?
Yeah,
They're
they don't
just
give
like,
a
"What?"
fuck. I'm like, this is the weirdest thing ever.
Get kicked out by security.
Sir, you can't be back here. I was just on stage, bro. No, you weren't. I gotta tell me that at a festival. I was this DJ was playing my song, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is my song." And he turns to me and he goes, "No, it's not." And I just went, "Oh," and I walked away. I was like, he won." I literally wrote it, but he won. That's how you win that, dude. How so whenever you're booking these shows and you're talent buying, you know, well, actually, what would you say is what you're talent buying for the most? And Evan, I kind of know the answer to that already because he called you Base Evan, right?
I've never, yeah.
You've never called him that.
Never,
I'm
not
gonna start
once,
there
now on
now.
a public podcast.
The most popular podcast ever, too. Let me just say that. What do you feel like you're booking more of nowadays, Scott?
I mean, what I've really gravitated towards is a lot of the like outlaw Americana vibes and songwriter, outlaw country.
Okay, I was about to say, you talking about some country? Like, you talking about some real country?
I'm talking about outlaw country, you know, is like Willie and Waylon and Morrill started it back in the day, and they did it, you know, because they didn't want to just play music for the radio. They wanted to play music they wanted to play.
For their soul.
For their soul.
Yeah.
And so they said, fuck all the Nashville radio execs and labels. We're playing music we want to play. And that's carried on all these years from, you know, that was in the 60s or even 50s into today where you have Tyler Childers and Sturgill Simpson and
Love Tyler
Ryan
Childers.
Bingham and like all these guys. And there's so many guys that are coming up doing that and just playing like music that they love, and not because they're trying to write a hit, they're trying to like write music they love. And it's a thing.
Yeah, I love it.
It's
I'm a big
scene.
fan. I'm a big fan. I never had called it Americana or whatever the hell you called
That's
it.
kind of Americana kind of covers a lot of things, but like outlaw is really
I like that
outlaw country.
I like that. I've always just called it, you know, real country, but outlaw country is fun.
real country. Yeah. That's dangerous. Call it that. Then you're just insulting everybody else.
I'll fight every single mother. I'll fight them all.
We have to be more careful, I think, as promoters. You
I'm
can
sure.
say that shit.
Yeah, dude, come on me. I mean, at me.
But yeah, some of that pop mainstream country just turns me like
That shit sells.
Well, yeah, it sells, but there's a lot of other pop stuff out there that sells too, and I don't really care about. It's like I don't know. I like music that's more real and kind of touches your soul, and like, you know, they're not just writing it to write the biggest hit they can.
Right. You ever heard of Wheeler Walker Jr.?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Because he's like, he kind of fits exactly what we were talking about, but talks about way different shit.
Oh yeah. We actually just we tried to get him, and he's going back to the Grizzly Rose. He's playing next month at the Grizzly Rose.
Is that here in Denver?
Yeah, it's this country bar that's it's like just real like cowboys just go there, and it's
Have you not been there?
I have not been.
You gotta
my
go.
God.
It's like
Fit me.
Oh my god!
it's like a country
dude,
nightclub.
we're going.
All right, we'll go, dude.
It's a country nightclub.
I didn't know. I never even heard about it. What's it called?
Grizzly Rose.
It sounds like a good time.
It is, but it's like it's you know, it's a low stage. It's like a lot of cowboys like hitting on women and just like
And hitting men.
and just hitting men
Yeah.
and like drinking Budweisers, and it's fun, but it's, you know, it's not hard ticket. It's like you can go sell 1,000 tickets there, and then maybe you go play a theater in Denver, and maybe you sell 300 or 400.
Wow.
Because everyone's just going there just because they want to just get rowdy.
That's what I love about country shows, dude. They're fucking rowdy,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
They are fun. A whole lot of
We should go to Wheeler Walker Jr.
dude. I literally want to see him so fucking
I
bad.
forget what the date is, but it's coming up in September.
I hope I'm in town.
Yeah.
Cause I'm about to hit my tour, but I
Yeah.
fucking hope I'm in town. Cause if
Yeah.
I'm in town, I'm going. I'm buying a ticket
Yeah.
the second I see it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text you and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, brother, we going to see
Yeah,
Wheeler?"
we're going. Put your cowboy boots on, man. You
I got them.
boots? Yeah.
Fuck, you think I ain't got boots?
I would imagine so.
the fuck?
I wish you were wearing them right now.
Fuck. No, I'm wearing these slutty ass shorts,
It's like the firemen are going to be wearing.
dude. I literally was. Yeah. On it. No, I hope they wear no shorts. Just
They're going to be wearing thongs.
yeah, just
sorry.
bulge.
Yeah.
Hashtag bulge for Jesus. That's fun, dude. So actually, you brought up a point because you were like, all right, these pop guys that I'm not give a fuck about. Do you take on shows where you're like, all right, we know we can sell some tickets. It's a good night for the business.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's other buyers at AEG that do more of that stuff, and it does great, and it's fine. It's just not really my world.
What made you want to go to AEG? I mean, you seemed like you were doing pretty good with before.
I was, but they we talked and they approached me, and I was really sick of losing bands after they outgrew 1,100 people at Cervantes, and we were actually like looking to build another venue that was going to be like 2,500 or 3,000 people, and I was going all in. I was going to compete and just do it, and then they approached me and offered me a job, and I was like, well, instead of doing that and maybe losing all the money I've ever, you know, everything I have, I'll go work for these guys that have a whole, you know, national presence, and they are so good. And I'm so happy I did, because it's just a great company and
Yeah.
just great people. And right when I started working there, they were doing the plans for the Mission Ballroom, which is one of the best rooms in the country.
Dude, it's fucking insane.
So like, just to be part of that, I would have opened a room that was, you know, 2,500 people or 3,000 people, and then they would have opened the Mission Ballroom, and I would have been like,
You've been fucked.
fuck.
Yeah. You've been fucked.
So hindsight, it was good, but also it was just, you know, you got to realize in your life when somebody offers you something that can progress your career and allow you to do things that you wouldn't be able to on your own, you probably should take it.
That's a good piece of advice right there.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of words of wisdom from the vet. You know?
Yeah.
I like that. What about? Have you thought about doing a venue with them, opening up a bigger venue with them? Like,
That wouldn't really be a thing. I mean, they're kind of doing that, but they're definitely open to us like doing other things. Like we're actually looking into opening a smaller room next to Cervantes.
smaller than the other side?
It'll be similar size, but there'll be a restaurant component involved,
Nice.
and then
Okay.
a rooftop.
Okay.
This is breaking
This is
news.
breaking news.
We're
This is
fucking breaking news
We're
right
breaking
now.
news.
Let's-
yeah.
Let's go.
Your
That's-
your
that's-
podcast just
That's what we do on
went
the
to the top.
Yeah, that's what we do on
Yeah.
the show. We
It's
break
gonna
news.
be like ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
All thanks to you.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about it. It's not a secret or anything, but we have the building next to Cervantes, and we're going to be slowly building it out and turning it into a restaurant music venue, kind of like more higher end kind of. You could do sit down shows, you could do comedy shows.
I was gonna bring something like that up. In a second.
So it'll be open about 2 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
So by then you can maybe have your act polished up a little bit. Maybe
Bitch, you need to come see me now. I was telling you about my show on Thursday, bro.
I guess I should see you first. But just because you said it was, you know, one of your first real gigs, I figured
Out here.
It needed a little. Okay.
Out here.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Come on. I've been doing comedy for like 4 years, dude. I feel like I got a good act at this point.
No, I can't wait to see it. I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna try to come. I think. on
Yeah, I hope you
You
do, man.
should.
You
Yeah.
should definitely should.
Yeah.
See the material.
Are there still tickets left?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
How many?
Oh, it's free, so just go. It's a free event.
Okay.
So there's free. There's definitely some tickets.
All right.
I'll see if I can get you in.
All right.
I might know a guy. But nah, man. I was actually gonna ask that. Do y'all ever do like you ever thought about doing any stand up stuff in the other room, other side?
I've done some shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, during COVID, I did a show. I'm blanking on his name.
Andy Herlecker.
No,
That's a great last name.
I missed him that
He's the
last
T-
name. How do you say it for real?
Tim Heidecker.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know Tim Heidecker
Yeah.
No.
You don't?
from the Tim and Eric Adult Swim show.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah. So I did his like comedy music shit. So we can get in on that like alternative stuff, like podcast. I've got Andrew Callahan from Channel 5 coming up doing Friendsgiving. You know him?
Oh yeah.
So we can do like that alternative stuff that has like a music component. People love that. That like those guys like want a rock room or like, you know, a club room to do stuff in. But it's really hard to get comics away from comedy works, you know, like the big touring comedians. During COVID, we were sending out, you know, offers for socially distant shows, and I sent Tom Segura an offer. And
I forgot about
then
that.
he announced like 2 ball arenas like a year later. I was like, damn, that guy must have thought I was a fucking idiot.
No, his agents did,
Oh, yeah. For sure.
which is even worse.
Yeah.
I love comedy though, man. I'm excited to do that at the new spot.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to get
Man.
involved with that in some
Yeah.
capacity.
Yeah,
You know what I
dude.
mean? That'd be fun as hell. I wanted to bring up Sonic Bloom, okay? Because how long you been doing Sonic Bloom for, Talent Bond?
I've been booking it for about 10 years.
Okay. Now, the lineup at Sonic Bloom this year was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? It had a lot of really known artists, a lot of artists that weren't that known, but their music and vibe was just like I went through the lineup and listened because I got a call last minute. I don't know if you knew about this. It was you. I got that call last minute, dude. Fucking
Enzo canceled.
Enzo
And I
canceled.
was like,
Oh.
oh shit, Mitch just moved to Denver.
Oh,
Let's go.
yeah.
But he was in LA.
I got a call. My manager goes, "Hey, you're playing Sonic Bloom on Saturday." I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "Yeah, you are." And I'm like, "I'm playing in LA, motherfucker." I was so upset because I was like, "God damn it, I would have loved to." But like, it just had such a good ass lineup, and you being the talent buyers and these smaller artists with dope music, are you going and listening to these people's music? Like,
Yeah.
you are? No,
100%. Yeah, I mean to me that's my favorite part about the lineup is the undercards.
Undercard.
Yeah, the guys that you're giving a shot to, and they're so happy. You put them on this stage in front of all these people, and it's like the first time they've played in front of that many people, and they're just so happy to be there. And looks on their faces, and you're turning all these people on to music, and I love the whole Sonic Bloom thing. So you've never been to it?
not never.
Well,
Next year.
yeah, we'll see what we can do.
I reckon so, dude. I was angry for a whole day.
Well, yeah, we'll try to give you more advance warning than 2 days next
No, it
year.
was like a day. It was like a day before.
Yeah. It was the day before.
Yeah, I was like, I would get in a car right now.
No, but Evan's been amazing at that. Like I said, he's just soaked up everything and
Sponge.
he's like a sponge. Yeah, so we really enjoy booking it together and like, you know, booking all the different stages and having it like all flow together is really fun.
Yeah,
Very rewarding.
sounds like a hard thing to piece together too.
It is.
It is. It is, man. Yeah, with 3 stages and a lot of very similar sounding stuff, you got to be really careful.
It's fun though.
Yeah.
That to me that's fun.
Oh,
Like
it's so fun.
fitting all the pieces together.
For sure. It's
Yeah.
a lot of work. We
Sure.
spend
Yeah.
hundreds of hours poring over the schedule and the lineup and the billing order and shit like that.
How long until y'all get back to work on that for
We're at
this
work
next year?
now.
Already started.
We're starting to put the ideas together. We're going to, if there's any agents watching, you know, listening, we're not sure when offers are going out.
They actually all agents watch this show. I don't know if you knew this.
But yeah, no, we're going to be sending offers out in the next, 30 or 40 days.
Sick, dude. Fuck yeah, already at it.
Yeah.
What would you say is the hardest part about talent buying for a festival?
You want to say?
I mean,
saying no to people.
say,
I don't like
saying
saying
no
no.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like saying no.
Because
I am.
when it
such a
becomes
yes
your
man.
job, it sucks,
Yeah.
man.
Because there's people that want to get their artists on there so bad, and they're pushing for it, and they're asking for months and months, and then at the end, if you just have to tell them no, that's hard for me.
Yeah.
Maybe can I hire you just to say no to people?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah, our starting salary is at $90,000 a year, and I will say no. I will be your no consent.
You just
man.
get on video and you're like, no. And then
No,
just
go
say it
fuck
to
yourself. I will ruin relationships for you as well. You know, we can add on an extra 10 grand a year for that. Nah, I don't know. I enjoy saying no to people for shit, dude. I get hit up for some weird things. I'm
I
just
bet.
like, no. Just simple, no. Had a guy hit me up. He was doing this like AI robot thing where like the AI could learn my voice and do my voice. I was like, no, I don't trust these fucking robots.
How much was he offering?
No, it was just he just hit me up about it. No,
You wanted to turn you into a robot?
I don't
more or
want to
less?
be a
Yeah,
robot.
yeah.
I don't want them knowing my voice. Now he could probably put this podcast through something and get it.
I feel like this could be a bit for you. I don't want to be a robot.
I don't. This is a terrible bit. You shouldn't do comedy. How big of a festival? So I ain't been to Sonic Bloom. How big are y'all trying to grow that every year as talent buyers? Did they tell you that? Because what's like the relationship between like the owners and organizers to like the talent buying? Are they telling you here's what we're able to? Here's our budget this year. Here's how many caps. How big of a cap we have?
Yeah, we run everything by Jamie Janover is the producer of Sonic Bloom since the beginning. He's also a musician, badass hammer dulcimer player.
Hell
that,
He's also like a scientist
yeah. He does talks all over the world and he's
about like
scientist.
ancient pyramids and geometry and shit like
Yeah.
that. He
Hell yeah.
goes
Yeah.
to Egypt and has these like lectures that hundreds of thousands of
in the
people
unified
listen to.
field. Yeah, he's an amazing guy, and he we talk everything over with him, tell him our opinion, and he has his favorites, and we tell him what we think he should do, and he listens to us most of the time. But everything goes. We all talk it out and decide what we're gonna do together.
Do you have some bias shit where you're like, I love this guy personally, I'm gonna get him?
For sure.
100%.
Good.
But
Thank God.
but generally
It's
we're
your
not
only chance.
This is
Mitch.
it, dude.
we're not trying to grow it. We're not trying to make it into a super festival. We're not trying to do 20,000 people. We actually hit
last year was the first time we actually got to the number we wanted to get to, which is like 7,500 people.
That was the first time.
Yeah, so now we're there. So like now we just kind of want to keep that going.
Hell yeah.
And make sure it's like done right and properly. We do not want to have 20,000 people.
We can't.
We can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's perfect. It's a boutique festival, but it's grown to the point where there's just a lot of regular people that have gone so many years that love going, and it's a big family, and it's very special.
You go out there?
Do I?
Yeah.
I every year I've been probably the last. I went before I was a buyer. I've probably been 14 years in a row.
Damn, I didn't know it was even going on that long.
It's yeah.
We DJ'd together this last year.
Oh shit,
We
what'd
did
y'all go by?
He's DJ Sleepy, I'm DJ Mongo, and we did the Sonic Disco 2 to 5 a.m.
It was
Hey,
Sleepy
bunch of-
Mongo B2B.
That's a fucking sick name, Sleepy Mongo BTB. I like that. What type of music were y'all spinning?
We did a little bit of everything. But
He does like, funk and soul and like hip hop house remixes, and I do like weird techno and like quotes from Joe Dirt and stuff like that.
Evan mixes.
I like that vibe, dude.
Yeah.
Evan mixes all these like movie quotes like on the top of it, where he'll just kind of like sprinkle it in, and people are like on their headphones just cracking up.
Yeah, they're dancing like, "Home, when you make it." You like see how much
That's
naked?
a good
You know
one,
what I'm saying? That's fun, dude. Hell yeah. So you're already starting to talent buy for it right now. How far in advance are you talent buying for stuff for Cervantes? I mean, do you have a lot of last minute stuff, or is everything pretty much just like a year in advance, 6 to 8 months? What's that timetable like?
It's like we're looking at Cervantes more like 6 months out at the most, pretty much. I mean, we're trying, if we don't have a date filled that's 3 or 4 months out, we start to kind of be like, okay, we need to do something if it doesn't fall into place like that. But we also book a lot of stuff that's, even a month out or 6 weeks out if we have a show we want to do. It just kind of depends. And then for some of the bigger rooms and like Red Rocks and Mission Ballroom, people are doing stuff like a year out sometimes for that. Would you agree with that, Evan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have the occasional 12-month out
Right.
booking at Cervantes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a couple of fan questions I wanted to get into, but I wanted to ask this, and it's a little deep one. What would you say is like the best piece of advice for somebody who's thinking about opening up their own venue, maybe throwing events, or just maybe want to be a talent buyer?
Don't do it in Denver.
That's selfish of you to say.
Yeah, that's a very selfish statement. No, I would say, man, there really is a lot that goes into it, but I would say you obviously have to pay attention about where you're opening it, because if the market can't take it, you're just going to either if there's not enough supply or demand for it, like if there's not enough people that are going to buy tickets, or if you're competing with something that's really established in the town, it's going to be very difficult to open something. So, if you can find a town or a city, whatever, that needs it, or
Jackson,
there's a need
Mississippi.
for it. Yeah, there's a need for it. That's really the number one thing, especially these days, because, things are generally pretty established in most places
At this point, yeah.
at this point. So like if you find a place that needs it or has like a little niche that you can fill, like that's obviously very important. And then having experience, having people with experience on your team, like if you just go in blind and open a venue, you're going to probably just lose your ass.
What about you?
I would say exactly what he said. Analyze the market. Make sure it's not oversaturated. Because if you were to in Denver, if you were to open up another kind of electronic music centered venue, you'd be fucked. There's no room for that here. And then, if there's room for a venue in a market and you have the means to open it responsibly and have good people on your team, then you can't just book music you like. You have to book everything,
That's a
or
good
at
point.
least what the market wants. So if you're in Jackson, Mississippi, and you want to open Cervantes or the Black Box or whatever, may not be the best idea. I don't know that market though, but that's what I'm saying is you got to give.
It's not the best
people-
idea. I'll go and tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go and
You
tell
got to
you.
give the people what they want, and I've seen lots of beautifully run venues, especially in mountain towns around Colorado, just be run out of town because they're opened by dudes who want to book sick music, and it's not how that works.
Yeah, you got to give the people what they want most of the time, and then you can sprinkle in some stuff that you want to kind of, show them or teach them.
What's it like with the maintaining relationships with the other venues? Because isn't it church that does a Thursday event too?
Yeah.
We're friendly with
Yeah.
them. Lance at Global Dance is the one who does Badlands Thursdays. Generally, they lean towards a heavier trappy vibe,
Yeah.
and we can just naturally avoid each other. Sometimes there are times when I'll call him and be like, "Hey, I'm thinking of doing this show. What are you doing on that weekend or that Thursday or whatever?" And then other times, they'll come help promote a show at Cervantes. It's for the most part in this market, it is very friendly as long as you are friendly.
Please tell me there's some beef. Please tell me there's times where you called a venue and you're like, hey, we're thinking about doing this show. And they're like, do it, bitch. I dare you, and hang up. You know what I mean?
Back in the day, there was definitely
Yeah, dude. I like that, dude.
there's definitely some of that. That kind of goes back when I was talking about the old competition. It gets pretty cutthroat, and I know a lot of other cities around the country, it gets very cutthroat.
What's it like with because I noticed there's no radius clauses for Denver. So I'll see tours that will be Denver one night, Boulder the next night, or Fort Collins the next night.
I personally think it's important for bands, especially up and coming bands, to play those other markets, because if you say you come in and only play Denver and you're playing Cervantes, there may be a few people that drive down from Boulder or Fort Collins, or maybe there's 50 or maybe there's 100. But you're missing out if you go play those towns and you get 500 or 600 people to see you. You're missing out on those 500 people that wouldn't have seen you.
Yeah.
And then you're building towards playing a bigger show in the future. So if you're missing out on all these people from Boulder and Fort Collins that would come to your Red Rock show in 3 years, if they see you now, then you're really stunting your growth. So I think it's important to play. And they're different enough. Not that many people drive between.
Not anymore,
Not anymore. And the people that really love it will go to multiple shows.
for sure.
Yeah, I noticed that people here are very fucking spoiled. and it's because of people like y'all that they're spooled. You know, it's a good thing, I guess. I'm making it sound like it's a bad thing, but you know.
Yeah.
But it's just like, people in Boulder ain't gonna drive to Denver to go see a show, which is an hour and away. I know whenever I lived in Mississippi, I drove to New Orleans or Atlanta or Houston, you know, or Austin just to go see an event, you know.
Totally. And I think that's why a lot of people are moving out here too. That's why it keeps growing. That's why the music scene keeps getting bigger, because they know how awesome it is. You can see it in all these different places if you want.
That's why I'm here.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I love that it's like, yeah, you can go play Boulder tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. There's no radius clause for that. You know what I mean? Like,
and if you don't let people do that, I mean, the next closest place to go is pretty far. Like, that's the thing about like back east versus here. If you're back east, there's all these little places you can hit.
mm-hmm.
If you don't let people play there, you know, you got to drive to Utah or Kansas and you're 7 or 8 hours away.
What's the closest like big market to here?
Salt Lake, which is 8 hours, and it's not that big of a market.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a market.
Yeah.
I do love Salt Lake City.
Yeah. They get down there?
I love it down. I thought about moving there.
No shit.
Yeah, a couple years ago. But I'll be out there in a couple of weeks. Buy your tickets to Blue Collar Bass Store at musicbytaboo.com. Stupid. That's stupid. No, this has been fantastic. We have Mr. Jeremy Wood back there. Sorry I didn't say hey to you earlier, Jeremy, dude. How you doing back there, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm not gonna hold it against you. So.
Do you have anything you wanted to ask these guys?
Yeah. So we did have a couple fan questions. They kind of asked some of the questions that I wanted to, but when you're coming across new artists and looking for new talent to book, is there something unique you're looking for in those artists? You know, obviously you want somebody who's going to bring a crowd and everything like that and sell tickets. But from the music aspect, what are you looking for exactly?
You want me to go? You go.
I'll go. Man, I've been seeing a great trend lately where I'll be getting hit up by a bunch of people being asked to book a certain artist. The artist doesn't have an agent or like, any big agent or anything like that. They don't have tour history or anything like that. And then I look them up and I listen to their music and it fucking slaps. And I've been experiencing that a lot lately, and then quickly been seeing those artists grabbed up by big agents, and it just like all sort of clicks. So I'd say the first thing is the music. You want your music to get out there, and you want people to be talking about your music. Whether you're crushing ticket sales across the country, obviously you can't do that right off the bat. So having people talk about your music and sharing your music is the biggest thing. And there is that whole online world that is like full steam ahead, just sharing people's music, and you can get a sense of like what people are talking about. And sometimes it's all just hype, and a lot of times it's not.
Yeah, I think those are all good points. And for me, like, I don't know, I think everybody's taste is different, but I can hear something when I hear it on just listening to a track or watching a video. I can get a good idea of if it's touching people, if it's like music that's like really heartfelt, whether it's electronic music or, funk music or bluegrass music or whatever. And then when I see it, that's when I really like to see it live. Like, 'cause when I see it live, I can tell, like, okay, this has a chance, because it just gives you that feeling.
You feel the energy from it.
Yeah, it just gives you that feeling inside. You know, that feeling where you just kind of like forget about everything else that's going on, and you don't
close your eyes and you're like, fuck.
You forget about all your worries. Like, that's the reason I started a music venue, because I wanted to give that feeling to as many people as I could, as many times a week as I could.
Is that really why you started it?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
And the firemen strippers too.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
they call it a callback, right?
yes, dude. You got it. You okay? He's been around the block, bro. I love that, man. You wanted to share that experience. You wanted people to
I wanted
have that
as many
times.
people to have that as they could, because, people's lives are hard out there. They're stressed at work. They're stressed with their family. And when you come out and see a concert, you're supposed to forget about all that. You see it and you kind of forget about your worries. You're in that moment right there with your friends, kind of releasing and letting go.
Yeah, music.
And that's the goal.
That's always been the same thing for me with music. It's always been an escape from all the real shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Let's have some fun.
It's the best drug ever.
Yeah, I love that. Damn, dude, you're just dropping heaters today. So you do this all the time?
Yeah, kind of.
This is only my
Couple
second
PBRs.
podcast I've ever done. So
Really? What was the
maybe
first
my
one?
last. Andy Frasco's.
Was mine-
You know Frasco.
I do. Is mine better? Say yes.
Yes, it is.
We're growing it here. Okay. So like, dude, I wanted to bring this. I just thought about this too, because, you said you get those DMs or like, hey, you should check this person out. With all this time, talent buying, I mean, you're already working on a festival that's already offers are going out in, like I think you said like a month or some shit. But like, while you're working, you just have like SoundCloud up? Are you going through like SoundCloud links? Or are you just checking DMs? Like, how the fuck are you finding this music?
Since I started at AEG, I've got to be more selective with how I spend my time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really, really fucking busy. So I've got friends sending me mixes all the time. I don't have time to listen to a full mix, to be honest, usually. So I'll look at Instagram a lot, dude. I'll look at Instagram and I'll see like clips of somebody playing a show. There may be nobody there, but I'm like, damn, that fucking sounds good. And then I'll see a bunch of comments that are like, damn, that sounds good. I'm like, okay, now I'll dive a little bit deeper. That's kind of like, the hook for me that gets me hooked on a new artist that I haven't heard of. And then we'll go down like what we call the rabbit hole on Spotify, where we'll just like dive deep through playlists and like fans that like this guy will like this woman, that sort of thing. But I don't want to fake and say that I spend all day just listening to music, because I can't, because then his business would fail.
Yeah, don't be doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, chill.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
How'd you hear about me, dude? Be honest.
It was when you played at Cervantes. I was just like an assistant at that time and was like, who the fuck is TVBOO? And then it was probably like 2 years later before I realized it was Taboo.
That's fun. Some people still haven't realized, so I'll take it. How'd you hear about me, dude? Be honest.
When I walked in today.
Great. Great. We're doing good stuff.
Can I
here.
open up for you on Thursday?
Sure. We're doing great stuff here, Jeremy. We're really making a difference, and we're getting our names out there.
We're networking right now.
We're doing the damn thing. We're out here trying. Not hard enough. All right, let's get to a fan question, dude.
Can I hit that?
What's up? My name is Louis Fagelson, also known as Louis Letdown.
Louis.
A rapper from Denver. And I've actually worked with Evan a couple times. He's helped me book a couple shows at Cervantes. First of all, just wanted to say really appreciate it. Love the podcast. Taboo, you're the shit. Love your music. Love Cervantes. That's my home away from home. I just wanted to ask, what are some best practices for an up-and-coming artist that wants to book their first show, whether it's at Cervantes or a different venue? When you're buying talent, when you're looking for artists to put on, what do you look for? Like, what should the artist include when they're reaching out? What's the best way to just get in contact with the people that are going to be the decision makers? So I think that would be super helpful. I wish that I had known things like that when I was first getting my start. And looking forward to Taboo at the.
Okay. Jeremy, did you end it early?
No, it cut off.
Cut. Okay, word. At Taboo at the
Cervantes Ballroom.
Yeah, there we go.
16th.
Yeah, September 16th. Yeah, what are some good practices? I like how he worded that.
A pitch email should be concise and clean. It should include clear links to your music, maybe your socials, and include some like shows you've recently played. If you haven't played shows, be candid about that. Like, I'm going to find out. Don't send me 3 pages. I just, I just don't have time to read through that. I'd say be clear and concise and to the point, and show us your best stuff, the stuff you're most proud of.
Totally, yeah. And I personally love live videos. If you have a good video of what you do, like that really just immediately lets us know who you are and what you're doing. So I think that's huge to include. If you just send something that doesn't have much information. Like, a lot of people send us an email that doesn't have anything about their music.
We get some great fucking emails.
Yeah.
Oh, you are about to get a lot from after this episode. I'm just going to let you know.
We get some emails that it's all written in the subject line. It's like...
No, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Legit?
So good.
Wait, does it come up like that, or does it have the dot?
You have to scroll right to the right.
Oh, my God.
It's amazing.
That's awesome, dude. That's fantastic. Okay, I like that. Very good. Let's get to another one.
Yeah, I think with new artists too, it's
Yo,
like
Wait, one
what's
second,
up,
Jeremy.
Taboo?
One second,
I be
Jeremy, one
listening
second.
to the show
Hold on.
from
No, you
time to time, and I got a question.
hold on.
It's
all good.
I'm trying to figure out how to cut it off.
Just right click at the bottom, close.
Upcoming artists like myself.
Nah, dude, fuck
So-
this guy. Not Jeremy, the caller. And Jeremy, honestly.
It's okay.
I'm joking. Continue what you're saying.
I was just saying, if you're like an artist that hasn't played out much, and you're just like, instead of just hitting us up saying, "Hey, I want to play. Here's some links." Like, if you have more of an idea of like, "Hey, I want to play with these people," and we have a crew of people, and we've done this, and we think we can bring out, whatever, 200 people, 300 people. That's going to catch our attention than just saying, "Hey, I'm brand new. I want to play."
But then what happens whenever like the people they're hitting you up about are like unrealistic, right? So it's like, say like,
Well, no, I'm saying if they have something planned, like saying like we have these 3 people that we play with in town that have done this, or I've done this, or like, yeah, I mean, if they're trying to open up for an artist that's already on the bill, if they have a relationship with them, that's great. But I'm saying more of an idea instead of just saying, "Hey, I want to play."
And
Yeah.
the conversation I have a lot to people who don't have much experience playing, even if the music is great, I'll be like, "Hey, listen, the other side is a 450 capacity room. Like, that's a lot of people. So there are smaller rooms you can start at." And that's a conversation I find myself having quite a bit, honestly.
word, with like agents or with artists themselves?
Both. Get some history playing a smaller room, because it's always better to sell fucking 300 tickets at a 300 cap venue than to do, 300 tickets in the ballroom or something.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, leave people waiting.
The
There's
deal.
a lot of power in leaving people wanting more.
For sure.
Yeah. That's my advice. Let's get to it, Jeremy. I'm sorry for dogging you. I didn't mean it.
Good.
What's up? My name is Louis Fagelson,
up,
also
Louis?
known as Louis Letdown.
Wait,
just
it's
heard
the
this
same
one.
guy.
A rapper from Denver.
All right, I restate.
What's up? My
I
name
know why
is
it's Louis Letdown. That was a
Fagelson.
letdown.
No. Jeremy's
I'm
name.
sorry, I'm fucking it up.
Yeah.
I'm a little rusty, man. A little rusty.
Louis is the shit, though. Check him out.
Hell yeah, check him out.
Great fucking diverse act, raps, produces. He's fucking good. We love having him at Cervantes.
Hell yeah, I'll check him out. Love that.
All right, let's get this one.
What's up? My name is Louis Fagelson.
Wait, it's the
Shout out
same
Louis
one. Hold
Letdown
on,
again.
hold
Is it the same? It wasn't
rapper from
Both of them are the same ones.
about the same ones.
Yeah.
So I fucked up.
Yeah, why you coming at me over here? What are you doing?
I thought the second one was different, but maybe not.
No, it was both Louis let down.
Okay. All right.
Well, fuck.
Well,
fucked
I
up.
got another question.
There we go.
All right, so you were talking about Research Wednesdays earlier, and do y'all do anything like Electronic Tuesdays still, or is that a continuing thing, the Research Wednesdays? And are y'all doing like open mic night style stuff where maybe you can get other artists up there to just come to test things out, and Black Bucks will do DJ battles to kind of win spots to play there in their main room. Do y'all do anything like that?
I want to go ahead and say this. So Jeremy had actually did a DJ battle at Black Box a couple weeks ago, and what was your opening slot at 8 p.m.?
Yeah, 8 p.m.
He fucking packed that place out at 8 p.m.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't win.
No, I didn't win, but it was a learning experience. I got some time in Denver playing, because I only played back home in Jackson. So a little bit of exposure, had a good time, learned a lot, got more comfortable with CDJs. So there's a bunch of positives, even though I didn't win. Obviously,
I thought you were great.
I appreciated that. I thought I did well. Everybody, all my homies that came, thought I did well. That's part of it. Homies got support, but it was a learning experience, and I'd like to get some more time on stage. So yeah, do y'all do anything like that, or y'all open to doing things?
So
like
what
that?
we do like that is the Shift Thursdays,
Right.
And that is the opportunity to get slots on shows. Primarily, that would be the opportunity to get slots. We do a silent disco out on the patio that is like basically, I'm not gonna say anybody can play it, but like it's very much more accessible to get a slot out there. As far as like the open mic stuff and like battles and stuff like that, we have to be realistic. And when I say that, I mean like even the other side, like we legitimately need like 150, 200 people in the room for it to be like financially viable that we're even open. So we've just, I came in to Cervantes wide-eyed and hopeful, and I still am, but I've just become much more realistic that like, you gotta have people in the room in order to not lose money. Because we're independent promoters. I mean, every fucking thing we do is a gamble. Literally every week we are fucking gambling, and that's why I don't actually gamble, because I do enough in my professional life.
Yeah, and there's other venues in town that do a lot of open mic stuff that I think we just kind of let them do that, and then once they kind of graduate from there, they come over to Cervantes and play more.
Whenever, because you're saying a financial gamble, say you gamble on a room, like in the master ballroom, you sell like 400 tickets, you needed like 800-900 to break even. Is that coming out of your pocket, Scott?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. In the end, I mean, yeah, it all goes in. I mean, as a promoter, you know, over the course of a year, whether you're, you know, AEG or Live Nation or Cervantes, you don't win them all.
Yeah.
So it's like it kind of averages out. And like you have your shows that are maybe more of a gamble, and you might lose a little, but maybe you're investing in that artist's future. Hopefully. Sometimes you might just lose and never see the guy again, and that sucks.
Let's hope I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think you will.
Hopefully that's not September 16th.
No, September 16th is gonna fucking smack, dude.
Firemen.
We're gonna sell that bitch out. There's gonna be firemen, strippers. Write it down, dude. You got a piece of paper? Write it down.
But yeah, you got to take gambles and you got to take risks, and they don't all crush. And some of my favorite shows, even in the past, like barely broke even or even lost money.
Damn.
And it's like it might turn around and be something big a year or two later, and you never know. And you can't be overly cautious, but you got to be smart too at the same time.
That makes sense. Where are you trying to take? Because y'all just did a bunch of renovations to the master ballroom, right? I haven't even seen it yet.
They're still going right now. Yeah.
What you adding in that bitch?
We raised the ceiling up 6 feet in the ballroom. So before, like, the stage was kind of cavernous. It was like you couldn't really fit much of a LED wall or screen. Now it's 6 feet higher, so we can have a big screen. The musicians will feel better. We're spraying the whole ceiling with acoustic foam, so it's gonna be like a real dead, like, nice sounding room.
Fuck yeah.
And we're putting a tier in the back of the balcony so you can stand up on the tier now. Like, I used to be able to reach up and touch the ceiling of the balcony.
Even I could.
Yeah. And so now it's way higher. There's a tier in the back, and then we're doing a bunch of other, like, cosmetic stuff to fix it up. But really, it was raising the ceiling all around the venue.
What you trying to do? Like, what's like a master plan of something? If you could do anything with the venue, what would you love to do with the venue?
I mean, we slowly have just made it better over the years. We like just kind of fix things up. I feel like you have to stay fresh to compete, because like if you start to be stagnant and people are like, oh, that's just this old dingy venue that they don't care about anything and they're not really even trying to make it better, I feel like you start to lose your following a little bit. So I think just staying fresh and keeping things clean, whether it's like new art on the walls, whether it's renovations. At a certain point, though, in a venue, there's not much else you can do. I mean, after this, like, there's probably some little things we can do. But then, yeah, we're just going to be focusing on building the new room next door, too.
Fuck yeah. I'm excited for that. What type of food you going to be serving?
You know, we're not sure yet, but I actually we kind of like the little bit of the Creole Southern idea.
You don't say, brother. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
I will be the first to tell you, dude. Don't fuck it up. I went to a New Orleans style restaurant out here. And
Which one? Say their name.
I'm not going to do it.
Say their name.
I'm not, because I want them to do very well, because they're trying. And they're actually from it. Got me that shrimp po' boy, some coleslaw, and some jambalaya. It was okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's it.
But that's why you go down there, right? For that stuff down in New Orleans, and because to get the real deal.
The real
for
shit.
For some reason, it's hard to replicate.
Yeah, dude, if you just serve shrimp po' boys and some fucking etouffee or some gumbo, bro, I'll be in that bitch every week.
Yeah.
If I'm not on the road, I'll be there.
We're trying to pay tribute to the neighborhood a little bit because, you know, Cervantes goes back to the 1920s. There was jazz bands playing in that room since the 1920s. Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington and Count Basie, and over the years Ray Charles and James Brown. Like, everybody played there, so we're trying to really kind of pay tribute to that, the history of the neighborhood.
I love that. I love that you think about that type of stuff too.
Yeah, 100%.
I love this conversation. I love hearing, you know, where your mindset is about it and why you open it up and the things that, you know, you see and think about. Like, it definitely has me have a bigger respect for Cervantes. I already loved the venue. It's my favorite. It's my favorite venue to go to in town already.
Thank you.
And it definitely, just hearing you talk about it has definitely made me respect it and you a lot more. Not that I didn't respect you. You know, I just met
It's
you.
okay if you didn't.
Yeah, it's okay. Because you didn't respect me.
Yeah. It was mutual.
Yeah, mutual disrespect. Dude, I'm going to go to Cervantes. Let's fuck this video up. What do you say? Talk about a callback, right?
Trash this place.
Let's trash this fucking place, dude. No, man, I really appreciate you. You know, I'm new to this scene. You know, I'm new to the city. You know what I mean? But you know, it's for people. It's people like you that what make it dope and what make people want to go out and make people, you know, like you said, you have regulars who just will go out because they know it's going to be a good time. They can trust that the music's going to be good. It's because you fucking care.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that really just helps the music industry. It helps people get into music. It helps people go out. And so I just really appreciate you for shit like that, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's awesome. That was the goal from the beginning. So it's really cool that it's happening.
That was always a life goal.
Life goal. Yeah, since I opened the music venue, that was my goal in opening a music venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love just hearing stories about people being able to do what the fuck they want to do. You know,
Yeah.
like I love story come true.
It was a free. I mean, back then you could still smoke cigarettes in venues
Mm.
when we first opened. So we allowed. You could only smoke in the balcony. That was our rule.
That didn't last.
Oh man, I would come home and just my clothes would just reek. But I didn't. I was used to it. So.
Sounds like Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I used to DJ a casino, the Beau Rivage, Mississippi Gulf Coast. I was a resident DJ there.
What would you play?
Just club music,
Okay,
top
good,
40
good,
stuff.
good.
Yeah, I'm playing strawberries. No, fucking. You know, they'd make us dress nice. So I'd be like a button-down t-shirt and tie, dress all nice, just to smell like a cigarette. You know what I mean? So I'm glad they don't have that no more. And Evan, I loved hearing you know your story too about you know you just almost going back to law school. You know what I mean? You're like you moved out here to try doing this, right?
Yeah.
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 I love that. And it seems like y'all are the fucking perfect couple, like, you know, in a non-gay way.
Yeah, I
Sure.
don't think you use the word couple when you
Team?
describe a
Team.
Yeah,
What about a team?
Yeah,
Y'all are good partners.
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 That works.
That term's kind of gay too. But
It's okay. We're good with that.
we're good with that. No, man. I really appreciate y'all coming in today and talking with me today and just being open. It means a lot. And like I said, I respect the two of y'all in the venue and the scene here a lot more because of it, and I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, man. It
Yeah.
was super fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. This has been a blast.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Really excited to have you here in the city too. This is
I'm happy to be
incredible.
here, man. I love it here.
First time I saw you at Cervantes, I was like, oh shit. And I walked up and I was like, Mitch, we're gonna have a lot of fun together.
What I say? Hell yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, dude. Thank you for having us.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Anything y'all want to tell the people before y'all get out of here?
I don't know. Just we're really excited about the renovation. We're doing our grand reopening this weekend with DJ Z Trip on Saturday night, and then we have a bunch of awesome Fish after shows next weekend. So come on and see the new Cervantes.
Cool, Evan. I'm gonna hit you up for guest list, bro. Well, yeah, I'm gonna come out Saturday night.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do, and I appreciate everybody listening. Hey, Jeremy, I appreciate you today, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody listening to this week's episode of Talks with Taboo. I will see y'all next week. Peace.